Everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working in my favor. And something I do to keep myself grounded in that space, keep my head in that space, is to appreciate the duality in life whenever I can and trying to be aware as often as possible. So I will give you an example. I was in the grocery store sometime last week and I wanted a particular type of apples. I wanted pink lady apples and I couldn't find them. And then I thought I found them because there was a spot labeled pink lady, but in that spot were actually Fiji apples. When I looked at the stickers on the apples, it says Fiji, right? And I was pretty disappointed because I really wanted apples. I'd wanted apples for a while. I finally got my butt up to go to the store to get them and they weren't there, right? And but I didn't dwell on it. I was just like, it's fine, everything's always working in my favor and just whatever, it's not a big deal. And I was looking around at other apples. I was considering maybe getting another type, but I really wasn't feeling it. Whatever, right? And then as I'm looking around, underneath this pile that had a bag of Fiji apples, mind you, I actually wanted a bag of apples. I didn't even want the individuals and I only saw individuals. So I finally go around, I'm looking around, and underneath the bags of Fiji apples, there happens to be a bag of pink lady apples that I was looking for. And I was so happy about that. And instead of dwelling on the fact that before of like, dang, I can't find them, or that was so annoying, I couldn't find them. I'm glad I found them because, oh, that was so frustrating, blah, blah, blah. Instead of dwelling in a negative space, I was able to just be like, wow, I wouldn't be able to experience this moment of relief and excitement that I found the apples had I not had that moment of disappointment earlier where they didn't have the apples. Like this moment that I'm experiencing right now of heightened emotion, heightened happiness that they're here is because of the duality, because I had a moment of what it felt like when they weren't here. And one more example that might be a little bit better. That same day, I'm on my way home from getting the apples or whatever I'm driving, and someone looks like they almost hit me. I don't know if that was in their plan and I just didn't know their game plan, but they came uncomfortably close to my vehicle and in an illegal way. And so, but instead of after, they didn't hit me obviously. Instead of afterwards being pissed, like, oh, they driving like that. That's so frustrating. Like, I'm so tired of people. Instead of sitting in that space, I chose to sit in the space of, wow, I'm so glad that didn't happen. I get to feel this relief now. I get to feel this happiness feeling. I get to feel this good feeling that I wasn't hit. Sorry. I get to have this good feeling that I wasn't hit instead of focusing on how upset I was that I was almost hit. Instead of focusing on how not good it would have felt to be hit, I'm sitting here appreciating that duality, appreciating the fact that I went through an uncomfortable moment so that I get to have an even more elated one. I know easier said than done, especially depending on the situation. Like apples is not a big deal, but I'm aware that there are situations where it may not be so easy to be like, I'm glad I went through that so I get to experience this. But just something that's been helping me along this emotional control journey and just focus on the good side. If something bad happens, focus as to the best of your ability on, wow, well, I'm glad that didn't happen, or I'm grateful that that happened because now this gets to happen. Just always focusing on the positive side of that duality. If this is your first time seeing my page, hello, my name is Tatiana. I like to post practical tips on manifestation and emotional control. So if you're interested in topics like that, follow along.